So let me see. Welcome everyone to the third round of F1WL here at Brazil for the first race of this weekend. It will only be me commentating today. We don't have overlays because of course our PC streamers are unavailable. So yeah. So we can only stream on console unless we can stream. So yeah. Anyway, welcome. We'll be having an 80 minute long qualifying session, a sprint race of 2 laps, and a 36 lap race today. Same for the other tiers, but there's a twist. It's full wet conditions, which means the drivers will have to be extra careful, as we already have a Aston Martin which spun in the third sector, but I'll wait for the rest of the drivers to set their laps, like High Caliber, who's sitting on 120.565. Let me review the sponsors for today. So we have... If it doesn't load, I'll get it on phone. This thing is annoying. Okay, I guess I'll get it on phone. Hold on. I'll be switching to commentary really soon. I just need to go through all the sponsors. So we have David Racing, which is hosted by Tier 3 driver David does vids, even though they're not driving anymore due to Wi-Fi issues. They will be providing a £5 Amazon gift card to the winners of Tier 2 and Tier 3 F1WL, because the community side of this league. Make sure to check that out, as well as the Instagram page. Grip Finder, which is let's say a really good way to find a league, because it helps for over 40,000 sim races, helping them find leagues, commentators and more. And it will be providing an automobilist F1 print to the winners of all 3 tiers. Super Fun Racing creates F1 merchandise and collectibles, and they will be providing winners of Tier 1 and Tier 2 at 2023 F1 season calendar of their choice. High Caliber Apparel, hosted by High Caliber, who's a Tier 2 driver in this league. They will be providing a custom champions poster for the winners of Tier 1 and Tier 2. Next Level Racing, they will be providing a NEF GT cockpit to the winner of Tier 1 and Tier 2, and some discounts. And a giveaway actually to the drivers who complete at least 75% of the season. Pit stop prizes. They will be providing a £10 voucher to the P2 of all tiers. Lagara Motorsport, a t-shirt of choice to the winners of all 3 tiers. Formula Rings, they will be providing a 50% voucher to P3 of all tiers. Racetrack Art, as they do some different layouts of racetracks in neon LED, wood and carbon, and they will be providing a custom trophy to the winners of all 3 tiers. RCHDFX, which basically the graphics designer for Season 8. 60 Iconic, they will be providing a canvas to the winner of Tier 1. Reaction Time F1 podcast, hosted by Big Homie, who's right now on an out lap. They will be providing a $25 Xbox gift card to the winner of Tier 1. Mode Push USA, which is our Season 8 title sponsor, and they will be providing a pair of gloves to the winner of each tier, and a 60% off code for the P2 and P3 of each tier, as well as a 50% server-wide discount code. And Formula Prints, last but not least, is a company that produces a wide range of products such as phone cases, posters, mugs, and more. And they will be providing the winner of Tier 1 and Tier 2 with an F1 phone case of their choice. And that's all that we had to go through. Now we can focus on whoever will come on top today, both in the sprint and also in the main race. I am loading the chat up, the Twitch chat up on phone, and we'll be going through the current leaderboard that we have, as there's 6 minutes remaining. So hold on, just 1 second. So, we currently have VIE Bram, who now goes on pole with a 117.981. Broken now James McLaren, by the way. Matt Copper then in second in the Haas with a 118.454. Annie Red in third, 118.618. So Bram was the only one who managed to go below 118. Followed by their teammate Jack in fourth with a 118.644. Keys with a 118.703 in fifth, followed by Shadow in sixth with a 118.747. Big Homie 118.767, and the Alpine is basically, the Alpines are both next to each other in 7th and 8th. The 8th place covered by Sparks on a 118.917. On the 119s then we have Jimbo 119.154. ST Place had to retire due to terminal damage 119.321, and that rounds out your top 10. Outside of the top 10 currently we have Toastman in the AlphaTauri with a 119.328. High Caliber, who's currently sitting there at the last sector to start, to actually, I think they're on a nil lap, if I'm not wrong. 12th anyway with a 119.343. Wickers about to complete their lap, though they invalidated with a 119.564. Jack now comes to the pits with a 119.63, currently held by the Red Bull driver Callum on an invalid lap with a 119.689. F1WL currently on a valid lap, and we'll stay on board with them with a 119.738. High had to retire with a 119.985. Chas Mister 120.318. The Ferrari driver partnered by Roby Jacobs, who's on an out lap right now. So the only Ferrari who has not set a lap, as well as Broken, who joined a few minutes ago. I'm in the lobby, and he is now on an out lap trying to set a lap to qualify in a good place for the sprint. So F1WL then about to complete the lap. As they spin, they did a similar mistake to Highs there, and that's no good for them, as they have to pit. 2 minutes and 30 remaining, and they broke the whole front wing there. Next up we have Broken, the only driver who hasn't set a lap right now, as Roby Jacket now retires in the pits. I think so. No, actually in the pit, in the main straight, right there, at the pit, the outside of the pit entry. Well, that's not good. You know what? Broken is about to complete the lap, and he's the only one, aside from Roby Jacobs, who's retired now. He's the only one who without lap time. Purple Sector 2, they set as they go into Sector 3 now. No DRS, of course, due to wet conditions, but they cross the line right now to go up into 10th with a 119 flat right there, above their teammate by 1/10. So Not bad for the McLaren driver. They entered the point zone, but they have to make sure to stay in the top 8 in the sprint, as top 8 gets points in the sprint, and in the main race, of course, top 10 places get points. But now the question is, who will take pole position to start first in the sprint, as I'm gonna figure out who will be the last driver to settle up here, and that will probably be the Haas, no, not the Haas, the Williams of VRE Bram. Yeah, Williams of VER Bram will be the last car, actually first car to put an end to this qualifying session, as there's 35 seconds remaining. I don't know if I'm actually correct on this thing, but I think that yeah, this is his last lap. So we'll go on board with them, and then we'll follow with the rest of the grid. Next behind them is Jimbo. Then we have a few other drivers behind us. We have a spin by a Mercedes. That's Jack, who now will have to hope to stay fourth. As Keys now goes up into second place, 118.323. Qualifying comes to an end. First driver to cross the line and finish this qualifying session is Bram, as he goes into the pits actually. So we'll go on board then with Jimbo, as anyway I think they're actually Jack spun once again, and now he retires. Jimbo then 118.724. He comes in 6th. Anirad comes in 2nd, 118.291. Up next we have Wickers, followed by the Ferrari of Chasmister and the Alpine of Sparks. Wickers goes into the pits, Chasmister goes into the pits, Sparks continues on, crosses the line to get P10, 119.148, so they don't change their finishing place. Now up next we have Cullen, who could improve their time here. He crosses the line to take P6, 118.656. Then we have the Haas and Matt Copper in 4th with 118.387. Pro comes into the pits. Up next we have the Williams. Yeah, but they already completed the session, so Jack is next, but he's down on his time. He won't improve. So that's your starting grid for today's sprint race. But of course we're gonna see how the sprint race unfolds now, and how the starting grid for the main race will be. Let's say you will give the drivers some warm-up time for the actual race, the sprint race. So that's your starting grid then. Bram takes the pole position there with a 117.981, followed by Anirud and Keys in P3, Matt Copper in P4, Jack 5th, Callum 6th, Jimbo 7th, Shadow 8th, Big Homie 9th, Wickers 10th, Sparks 11th, Broken 12th, Esty Place 13th, Toastman 14th, High Caliber 15th, Chasmister 16th, Jack 17th, Hoseville 18th, High 19th, and Roby Jacobs 20th. As you can see, also Jack is reserving from tier 2 as Shui is not present today. So on the sprint race we go. As the results have saved, by the way. That's good to know. But it's time to race, I guess. First 8 points here get first 8 places here. Sorry for that. First 8 places here get points, and it is first gets 8 points, then 7, then 6, then 5, and so on, until 8th place, which gets only 1. Because drivers, as long as drivers stay out of the trouble, I think they'll be able to get a good place for the starting race. If you mess up here, you're basically losing on points and also on the main race, because the final results of this race determine the starting grid for the 50% race. But right now we'll have 12 laps of racing around a wet Interlagos, with Ram now starting the information lap for today's Grand Prix. Andy Red following him in second. Obviously, there's not much to say about strategies, but as we have Jack, who spins immediately in the first 2 corners. Jimbo and Shadow collide with each other, so they both get disqualified from the information lap. As Jack now also gets disqualified from the information lap. But as I was saying, of course, there's not much to be said on strategy since it's wet conditions. But you can still change the lap that you bit at, and of course you'll have different tire wear for the end of the race, even though you don't really need to pit in a sprint. So that's gonna be concerning the main race, really, not the sprint race, unless you get damage but yeah, that's the only case. In the main race, there's also the fact that there may be safety cars that may let you pit. With a safety car, it's not really useful to pit. So yeah. Now, meanwhile, spins at the last corner as he spins once again. But anyway, then Matt Cooper, Annie Red in second, Keys in third, Matt Cooper in fourth, followed by Jack, Callum, Jimbo, Shadow, Big Homie, Wickers, Sparks, Broken, ST Place, Toastman, High Caliber, Chaz Misser, Jack, Hostfiller, High, and Roby Jacobs. Now, I hope they are careful enough, because we know how turn 1 is gonna be now. Hopefully, they'll get away nicely, and we're gonna see how the start unfolds then, as we wait for Roby Jacobs and the House of Hostfiller to line up on the grid, and we'll start this 12-lap sprint race. And here they go. Alright then, all lined up. Let's wait for them to load up. Not really a good way to see. We're still waiting for them to load in, so we're waiting. I hope we don't have to restart, really. Let's see. Yeah, they're probably still waiting for everyone else to load. So that's why no lights out is being given right now. Tension rises, I guess. And I think someone is lagging the start there, as we don't have the leaderboard anymore because it's loading, I guess. Well, it will start the race in any case at some point, don't worry. Just hope that it doesn't give me that glitch that I experienced last time, that I couldn't see anything. Like it was like this last time. I couldn't see the leaderboard and all that stuff, so hopefully we get to race. So, yeah, they say Big Homie needs to leave here. I also heard about Jazz Mister, but I have a bad feeling that, you know, might have to abandon this lobby. I hope not. Because that will be really, really annoying, especially for the drivers Waiting, waiting, and waiting then. Oh, here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. You cannot see them, but we heard them. It's like 7, away we go. I cannot see the leaderboard, so I'm gonna have to rejoin. But right now, I'm gonna let you see the first lap of racing, then I'm gonna rejoin, unless there's a restart. As we have Bram living away from any red, if I'm not wrong, because you know, can check on the database, but yeah, that's all I can do. As we have a Williams there fighting with the McLaren, I'll have to rejoin most likely. As the Haas there, who's that? That is, listen if it says it correctly here. F1WL there, got a pretty bad start, but back to the front we go. Yeah, you cannot really see anything here, I understand. I'll have to rejoin, so hold on. Oh yeah. I have to actually close my game and restart because I cannot even leave it. Let me see if they're restarting actually. Oh no, they're not. Okay, so I'm so I have to rejoin, actually restart my game. So the stream will stop for a few seconds. So hold on. Right, so gonna need another invite. Alright, right in time that is. Right in time that was. Yeah, sorry about that. It's not the first time it happens, it's actually the second time. And honestly. No, I really think if they don't step up their walk with F123, I think they're gonna lose out a lot of sales. But for real, we're talking for real here. They already did it with this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do something good with F123, it's gonna be an even worse disaster than this one. Apart from that, I'm joining back, and we're getting back into the action. Sorry for that. It happened this second time. Basically, leaderboard fades away, and you cannot see anything. You cannot even leave the lobby. You're stuck in the lobby. So, only way to fix that is by restarting the game. And here we are. Lap 3 it is already. Yeah. Cannot make anything about that though, if the game is in such a bad condition. Waiting for it to load. Let's see what happened in what has happened in the race right now. Gonna go over the leaderboard. Alright, loading complete. Alright, there we are then. So, we have Bram currently leading, followed by Annie Rudd in second, Callum in third, Jimbo and Procan, the two McLarens in fourth and fifth, as Shadow now pits. Keys in sixth, chasing Procan down as he's below a second, but you cannot activate the IS due to weather conditions being poor. Sparks in seventh, defending from Wickers and ST Plays in the AlphaTauri and in the Aston Martin. Jack almost losing traction there in 10th. Jack in 11th, Toastman in 12th, Matt Copper in 13th, Big Homie in 14th, Host Relay in 15th, Robbie Jacobs in 16th, High Caliber in 17th. High now! Look at that. He's literally, I think, deployed a visual safety car there. 19th, that is, and Shadow in 20th. Just missing now. Gets promoted to P18 as High now retires for the 3rd time this season. I'm not kidding. It's the 3rd time. It's a visual safety car, so everyone's calmed down a bit, but we'll get back to our green flag and racing conditions quite soon. Not really good start for Shadow as he had to pit probably for wing damage. As we're waiting for everyone to get back to racing, as Jack is really close to Jack 123 is really close to their let's say rival El Taco Jack, as they're waiting for the virtual safety car to be over, that Jack can pull away as soon as he can. High now leaves the lobby, obviously, because he retired. Jack! El Taco Jack now gets a drive-through penalty for spinning under the Delta time. He's trying to fight against SD Plays here, his academy mate, but he's trying to hold on the Jack. Goes onto the inside as he loses traction now, like he did in the virtual safety car. And now he retires as well from this session. It's not good when you retire from the sprint race, but there's not much you can do, I guess, in that situation. Broken now gets 3 seconds for track limits. Now, as I saw also that Matt Copper got past Toastman, who's now being dropped even further down, as Big Homie is really close to the AlphaTauri ahead of him. It's literally lap 5. Time's going fast here. Red closing up to Bram meanwhile, and Callum is 4 seconds behind the top 2. As Big Homie then trying to attack the AlphaTauri ahead of Toastman, who's closing up on the Red Bull Academy driver. He's closing up. As it will be closed on the 2nd straight now. Let's see if Big Homie can get enough speed to overtake this AlphaTauri, as they are already. You cannot really see whether they run out of the RS with wet conditions, but looks like Big Homie can get that much of speed he needs to attack the AlphaTauri. He plays back close behind Wickers here. We have another driver who's closer, and that's Keys on Procan right now. Procan, who used to be in Aston Martin, now he's in the Alpine Academy, specifically in McLaren. And let's say this pack is quite close to each other right now. See, they're all in a train right now, even though some drivers are a second ahead, and some drivers are just below a second. But still, Bram meanwhile sets the fastest lap of this race, 119.151 currently. Could be beaten though at any point during this race, as the problem with the rain is you don't have the IS, so you have to rely entirely on your ERS. As Keys now is trying his best. He's 1/10 behind the McLaren, but he still cannot seem to get enough speed to overtake them round the inside or outside, wherever you want to go. Well, Sparks 1.4 behind Dean Williams here. Not much to say at the moment. It's just this one is the closest button right now, apart from actually Matt Copper, who's really close to the Red Bull here. Well, this plays on Wickers, but Matt Copper is really close right now. And so is SD Plays on Wickers. So I guess this train is being held by Sparks, and is could give quite some action really soon. As Matt Copper is now going at Jack to try and get the plays on them. that may be burning Yas as well. Skis also catching up, but he's still staying behind as he's trying to go around the inside, but he has to back up not to get involved into any contact close, but he's catching up. Meanwhile, this could be academy tactics right here. As they don't have any enough gas anymore to try and pull out to move here. Yeah, that's the bad thing about the bad weather conditions. If you're not close enough, you cannot really pull out to move. Just Mr. with 3 seconds now. He's the second driver to gain 3 seconds for track limits. As we have a spin from the Haster, F1WL, who's now getting passed by the Alfa Romeo of a high caliber. And soon could be by Chas Mister, but he's too far away. So F1WL now dropped by 2 places. He has wing damage. He has wing damage as well. It looks like to be orange end plate being damaged there as ST plays now pulls out the move on the inside at the couple of last corners and gets 8th. P8 F1WL now gets 3 seconds as well as Sparks now spins round the last straight, if we can call it straight. Really lost traction there and now dropped out of the points as well, like how he was before. Now Sparks gets passed by Robbie Jacobs as well. ST Place gets 3 seconds to track limits. Weakers almost managed to get the place back, but he couldn't really, so he had to stay back. F1WL also gets 5 seconds fitting in the pit lane. Obviously he has a bit to repair the wing. Probably they cannot continue in those conditions. As Broken also spins now. Lots of spins today we're seeing due to the track being slippery. Now he's dropped to 14th place behind the spinner Ovelio, I guess. And also F1WL now retired in the pits. I guess you can technically do that because you're in the sprint, but you're losing out on top 8 points. So it's not really efficient when it comes to points in standings, because every point matters. As Robbie Jacobs is close, meanwhile to Sparks as he's getting past the Alpine driver now, and he's onto the chase for Big Homie, who's 6 seconds away. So if he can try and catch those 6 seconds up before the end of the race, that will be purely madness, I would say. Sparks cannot seem to get the place back right now, so he'll have to stay back. But the Ferrari back up now behind this train, still held by actually Sparks Fun, so now it's held by ST Plays and also Keys, who's 3 seconds behind the top 4, and Jimbo is also closing up on Callum now with the P3. Still have 2 laps to go, so they can try that if they want to, as it's lap 11 now. 1 lap to go, not for everyone, just for whoever crosses the line at the moment. Sparks looks like he's trying to go at Robbie Jacobs once again. He's trying to use all yes he's got, but Robbie Jacobs is now pulling away as he's got way more EIS than he does, than Sparks does, and obviously he pulls away quite easily right now though. Make sure to stay tuned in the stream, as after this race we'll have a 36 lap race. This is just the sprint one, so yeah, not much going on really. Yeah, they're close to each other, but not much going on really about action and anything else. As Robbie Jacobs now, look at that, he's had a lag spike and also a loss of traction, which Sparks is taking advantage about. ST Plays now also gets passed right when I said nothing was happening by actually Keys gets passed by their teammate there, and Roby Jacobs had a moment there and gets passed by Proken as well now. Looks like the tires reached the end there. He's behind the team, and they're academy mates, so we'll probably try and defend from Wickers here, who's really close to the Williams here. He locked up a bit there. He's really close still. Last lap it is, so if you want to improve your starting read place for the main race, you have to do it now. It's now or never, basically. High caliber, 3 seconds for track limits. Those penalties, of course, are going to be applied in the result, so not going to be ideal when you have to start the race, start the main race in a good position, not to be moved in any corner at the start. But right now, his place has got 3 seconds, so currently he is at risk of being dropped to P9. Look at that, really close. Mac Hopper, Jack Wickers are all really close to Keys to get those places, so you mess up here, you ruin your main race. As they're about to Via Bramiwa crosses the line to take the win of this sprint race, 1:18.994. He sets the fastest lap while doing so as well. Anyway, comes takes the second place, Callum third, Jimbo fourth, Esty plays now fifth, followed by Keys in sixth, as we have a spin by High Caliber. Esty plays now gets dropped to ninth. So Keys in 5th, Wickers in 6th, Jack in 7th, Macupper in 8th, High Caliber gets dropped to last place now, not taking into consideration the 3 drivers who DNF. Roby Jacobs also takes P13. Anyway, so I was saying, Esty plays 9th, Toastman 10th, Big Homie 11th, above the teammate who's in 12th, Roby Jacobs 13th, Proken in 14th, Shadow takes P15 right at the line there. Look at that. Chess Mason meanwhile in 15th. High Caliber due to a spin takes P17, which he'll have to start from in the 50% race, which will be 36 laps long. So there's not a mandatory pit stop to be done, but there's a pit stop to be done due to tire wear. Hopefully the weird sound that was going on in the stream should be fixed now. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if it still makes that, but it's an issue which happens on Xbox. There's not like I can make anything about it. There's too many issues on Xbox on streaming on Twitch. For real. Sorry for that anyway. Don't want to I could turn the audio of the stream up for me as well, but you will hear the echo, so it will be annoying. Anyway, back now we're into the 50% race, and of course drivers will start on wets, but it depends when they'll pit. That is going to make a big difference in terms of tire wear. So then we start the formation lap for this 36 lap race, all known also as the 50% race. Last race for tier 1. Bram starting then in first, Anirudh in second, Callum in third, Jim in fourth, Keys in fifth, Wickens in sixth, Jack in seventh, Matt Copper in eighth, as he plays in ninth after the 3-second time penalty. Toastman landing up behind him and rounding out your top 10 for this starting grid. Big Home in 11th, Sparks in 12th, Robbie Jacobs in 13th, Proken in 14th, Shadow took the 15th place at the line previously, so he jumped to 15th place and overtook Chaz Mister there, who takes 16th. High Caliber GT Spin finds himself in 17th, so he'll have to surely build his race back again. F1WL in 18th, last driver to retire in the sprint. Hell Taki Jack in 19th and High in 20th, who's currently disconnected, I think, and I cannot even buy him back. As you can see, the friends list doesn't load for me. And it's an issue which happened today, for real. No, just get stuck, and I did anything I could. I restarted my console twice and still doesn't fix itself, so not much I can do. Anyway, back to the starting grid we are. Drivers are forming up into their grid slots and we'll go racing quite soon. Hopefully no one has low Wi-Fi connections and we can go underway really soon. As also Chaz Mister spun right at the end of the formation lap. Though he's starting 16th, so that place doesn't change. It's now last driver to form on the grid. Quite a good parking slot as well. Let's see now. And here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's like 7. Away we go for one final time in Brazil, with Bram getting a good start there, followed by the Mercedes of Anirudh there. At turn 1 we go then with right now it's all good at the back as well. Some contacts happening as well. Haas going wide there at the front, though the situation doesn't change. Simbo already close to Keys there to get the fourth place there, but a Ferrari there. I saw someone getting full-wing damage there, and that's Robbie Jacobs. That virtual safety car gets deployed now due to debris in track. What happened there? I have no idea. Look at what is going on now. Sudden stop on track. Luckily, no one got a penalty due to that. Look at these! What the hell is going on right now? Looks like there was an issue with giving the place back. Why are they going so slow? Procan, meanwhile, 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Yes, he probably got he probably got a place which he shouldn't have got, and he's probably is going to build that. But it's not the you cannot just stop on track and cause even more mayhem. But I guess it is what it is. Smack Copper now gets back past SC place. I have no idea what's going on right now. It's a green flag once again. Anirudh really close to their academy mate. And also Keys is to Callum. But right now, the focus is on the back of the grid, who's got a massive gap to catch, as Toastman is now going on the inside of Proken there, as Big Homie pits for wing damage probably. Toastman meanwhile still trying to fight the McLaren ahead. They got their teammate behind them, so they can try and do some tactics here. I don't know what tactics they're playing in Red Bull, but also Robbie Jacobs pits to full wing damage. Toastman looks like he cannot make the move at the moment. Sparks though looks like he's pretty close to Shadow there, and he has to stay back for the moment as well. As we head back to the top 6, who's all within a second to each other, or at least all the drivers are within a second to each other. But if we took the leader, the gap from the leader, you can see right now Yeah, they're close to each other. Just 3 seconds separating the leader and the top 6, so not that bad. There. Meanwhile, Jack takes the place on his academy mate who's disconnected. I can invite him back as my friends list won't walk. Bram now sets the provisional fastest lap 120.113. As we have Jack now trying to take the place on Jazz Mister as well. He's moving on the inside now as they're approaching turn 1. Jazz Mister lets him by, looks like. We'll have enough ERS and speed to get him back on this straight as Roby Jackers brings out a yellow flag once again, but this time doesn't deploy any safety car or virtual safety car. Jazz Mister looks like he's not able to get Jack again as he spins. Right as I take the camera off him, he spins and causes another, not virtual safety car this time, but safety car. Probably was due to Roby Jacobs getting terminal damage as he crashed probably on purpose. I have no idea, but looked like that. As he plays now, getting back behind Matt Copper. This safety car now, I don't think anyone will pit unless they have damage, and Chaz Mister does. So that played out really, really well for them. Now we'll have another restart, I guess. Sort of. Yeah. Looks like no one pits due to obvious reasons. What about the back of the field? As the place does go into the pits. So does he have damage? As he gets 5 seconds for it. 5 seconds of spinning in the pit lane. Hostfiller also pits. Jack comes into the pits as well. High Caliber stays out. Hostfiller retires in the pits, like he did in the sprints. Chess Mister comes in the pits. Big Homie, does he pit? Yes, he does. So let's say bottom 4 all pit. Wonder why Essie plays and Jack pit, and also Big Homie. I don't know if they had damage. Oh yeah, probably they all had damage, which is unfortunate. But at least there's a safety car, so they have fresher tire wear now. As High Caliber also, no, not High Caliber. Someone else got 5 seconds for spinning in the pit lane, if I saw correctly. As there's a stopped Has at the exit of the pit entry, and that's Hostfiller who now disappears. Luckily, not causing any issues then. So no, I had probably High Caliber, I think, got a penalty. I saw someone else got a penalty other than SD Plays. So maybe High Caliber, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll get to restart this race next lap, so at lap 5. Until then, let's review the current leaderboard after pit stop. So we have Bram leading, Annie Rudd in 2nd, Callum in 3rd, Keys in 4th, Jimbo in 5th, Jack in 6th, Procan in 7th, Toastman in 8th, Wickers in 9th, Matt Copper in 10th, Shadow in 11th, Sparks in 12th, High in 13th, High Caliber in 14th, Messi Plays in 15th, Jack in 16th, Chaz Mister in 17th, and Big Homie in 18th. The two drivers who retired at the moment are Hostfiller and Roby Jacobs. That leaves us with 18 drivers remaining in this race. As we wait to restart this race then. Which will restart this lap, most likely. I think so, at least. maybe a late call. It can happen, but it is a late call. Actually, it won't happen now. Guillaume is taking his time to catch up, I guess. So I guess we'll wait another lap. Guillaume now catches up onto the rest of the pack, as there looks to be an issue here at the back of the grid between Wickers and Toastman. What is that going on right here? Also, Jazz Mister gets 5 seconds spin for colliding with SD Plays there. That wasn't really helpful at all. How did Jazz Mister collide with SD Plays if he's 2 places ahead? I don't know. He's also in AI. Or disconnected, I don't know. Look, he's an AI, but maybe disconnected the car when you're disconnected. Sparks spins. Sparks does spin. He now finds himself behind their teammate in last place, and he's trying to take the place back. And he does. Jack trying to let them pass now. As the safety car he's restarting. The race is restarting now. As Jazz Mister gets also an additional 5 seconds for ignoring the yellow flags. There will probably be some controversies again after this race, but what is going on? What is going on? There's been a spin again from an AlphaTauri. It's a green flag as Bram restarts this race now. This race will be chaos, I can tell, as Callum is now going for the move, but decides against it. Also Jimbo right now on the Red Bull as they make contact. Sparks has 5 seconds for ignoring the yellow flags. What is going on right now? It's almost 3 wide at the 3rd corner as Keys spin, and also the McLaren does. Someone else spun. That's Jack. Jack spins. I have no idea what is going on right now in the grid. There's another driver who's got wind damage. That's Jack. Keys also got involved in that. What has gone on in this safety car restart? Pure chaos that was. As High now still disconnected. As the pace gets the plays on him. Therefore, still have no idea what happened between Wickers at Toastman and the rest of the back of the grid there, as there were some people giving the place to each other, probably glitches in because you know sometimes it happens that you overtake someone by mistake and he tells you illegal overtake, and same for the driver you overtook. So Jazz Mister Sims, he disconnected, so he's getting passed easily by the 12 Ataris now. Soon by Toastman, probably. As Bikomi now gets past Jack, who pits. Shadow catching. Jack actually retires there. Will Keys retire as well? No, he won't. Jack 1, 2, 3, 3 also comes into the pits, but he doesn't retire. Never give up, I guess, in races, whatever can, even if you get punted, because that's the spirit. Anything can happen in races, especially with the rain, because you lose out on points otherwise. But looks like we have another train like we had in the sprint race, which this time concerns the from P3 to all the way down to P9, actually to P8. Toastman now gets past the AI of Chaz Mister. And Shadow is catching up on Matt Copper now. The Macopper is also pulling away from the Red Bull behind. Wickers meanwhile catching up on Sparks, the Alpine ahead. The AI trying to give Toastman a fight here as well. Not bad, but Jasmine will have to get in as soon as possible if he wants to have a chance of getting points, I guess. As Wickers is going for it at turn 4, but he has to decide against it, not to make contact. His teammate is behind him and he could get past at any point if he deems it necessary, I guess. He goes a bit wide at the next corner, but it looks like the places do not change at the moment. They will eventually change. As in Sector 2, everyone gets close to each other. Then when the straight approaches, of course, everyone pulls away due to ERS usage. And now Matt Copper is closer than ever on the McLaren of Proken. Big O now gets past the AI of Chaz Misser as well. Shadow looks to be close to Matt Copper though. Indeed he does, as he's gaining. He moves it to the inside now. And at the next corner, they're side by side. Shadow goes almost a bit wide, but he is able to close the door on Matt Copper, and he claims the 6th place for now. The Chaz Misser is trying to fight with Big Homie. The place is also trying to catch up on this group ahead, as they're giving themselves quite a big fight now. Shadow having the snap of obviously the manages to keep the car on track. Assessing place is going for rates on the inside. This is the same incident between Norris and Leclerc, but this time it didn't end badly, as the Red Bull there going on the inside of Proken, which is now the outside. They have to stay back. They make contact with the Matt Copper. This gives time for Rusty Place to go onto the outside now. But he still has to stay back due to the better exit of Matt Copper. Will he try another move at the next corner? Yes, he will. He goes up to the inside. He wants this place at all costs, as their teammate in AI though is catching up. He claims the P7 for now. Shadow is quite far behind Proken. Matt Copper will probably give him try for another overtake on the outside this time, really off track there. Rusty Place manages to stay ahead for the moment. They're really close to each other, as Wickers manages to get past Spark. Meanwhile, Sparks doesn't seem though that far away. But Wickers has got more EIS, so he's able to keep the Alpine behind, and his team may catch up in the meantime. Because is also not too far away. It's basically an AlphaTauri versus Alpine here. They're all close to each other right now. We'll still have to see whenever those drivers will pit, because that is gonna be a thing. I don't think the Watts can go for as long as 36 laps. As Wickers there loses traction there again and loses out on Sparks. Now able to pull away from the incoming Toastman, I would say. Oh no, it just sounds like some kind of boss, final boss of the game when you say incoming Toastman. Please don't make that become a meme. Our Shadow is going at Proken now. Shadow managed to catch up on Proken. ST Place is managing to defend on Matt Copper. And they're going for another fight, I guess. Proken now has a better exit. Manages to hold on the outside. Shadow closes the door, so Proken has to stay back for the time being. And Jimbo also caught up on Cullen. And also Wickers, no actually Fisher Fingers saying here How many people using traction control? I don't know. Says it seems like a lot. Well, Wiki's for sure it doesn't because it's fun. And personally, I don't use it, even if it's rainy, because I prefer driving. I learned driving with it off, so it's weird turning it back on. Mac open meanwhile has broken their spins completely, loses the traction completely, and that's an example of having traction control off. The debris he caused, the front wing that detached from him, caused a virtual safety car which allows Toastman to pit early. And Broken also pits to repair their wing. Did Toastman pit early due to wing damage? No, he didn't. He's just pitting early. He's pitting early indeed. Well, now, is he gonna do a 2-stop then? Because he could have gone on for longer. Surely gonna have a better tire wear, but it's not a safety car, it's a virtual safety car. So, wondering if that is gonna prove worthy for Toastman. He probably will when the pit stop will happen. When the pit stops will happen, as High Caliber now gets a drive-through penalty for spinning under the delta time, and Sparks gets the plays on him. That's not good because he now has a drive-through, and he will get dropped by, I think, to 17th place at this point, probably, as he lets Big Homie pass there. As Jimbo is quite close, meanwhile on Callum, he's catching up on him quite easily with the EIS, and he's just 2 tenths behind him now to take that P3 and the podium as well. High Caliber now pits instead of his right through. Macop also meanwhile in a Aston Martin sandwich. Shadow also catching up behind. Look at that, they're all close to the top 3 right now. If they manage to catch up, this will go wild, I can assure you. As Matt Copper is not far away from ST Place now to pull out another move. High Caliber gets dropped to P15 as he leaves the pit lane right behind Procan there. He could pull out a move anytime now. Sparks makes the move on high. At the same time, he almost spins, but he manages to keep the car on track. And now it's another round of trying who has the most amount of EIS to try and attack the driver ahead. That is Big Homie, though he's fighting against an AI who of a higher level, obviously. It seems like he cannot make the move on it, just giving High a pretty good advantage here. But they're also pretty close to Jimbo right now. You gotta have a lot of EIS, otherwise you cannot really make many moves in the car ahead. The EIS management is really crucial in a wet surface and in wet conditions, obviously. Shadow almost lost the traction there, but they're getting closer to Jimbo, and Jimbo's getting closer to Cullen. Look at Shadow really on the verge of spinning there. As we'll see if any of those 4 drivers currently in a fight close to each other can make a move and possibly get that top 3 at some point. As Matt Copper is catching up right now, he's the closest driver out of those 4 to ST Place. As soon as he has a good exit, he can try and pull out another move on the Aston Martin driver ahead. And he cannot do that now. He has to wait until a good opportunity shows up. A Shadow now gets 3 seconds for track limits, which is not good at all when it comes to the end results. As I want to remind you, we have 10 rounds this season, so 7 are left after this one. And if you start losing points, it's gonna be tough at the end of the season to gain them back. Still, you have quite a lot of rounds, yes, but and 2 more sprints to go, which I don't remember where exactly, but we'll have 2 more sprints to go this season. So you still can gain a lot of points, but you have to gain them when the chance shows up. Shadow looks to be catching up now on Jimbo. So is Jimbo. Jimbo still got 60% EIS though, and now 70, which is quite useful because he's closer now to Cullen, and he's catching up each lap. He could pull out a move anytime. Matt Copper now gets 3 seconds of track limits. As he also tries to go on the outside. On the inside actually of ST Place, they make contact as well as Big O now gets past their teammate. ST Place still on the outside of the Haas here, now the inside as they still try to hold on as long as they can. Will they keep the place? Will they lose the place? We'll see. Look at them, they're still side by side, they make a bit of contact, they still try to stay on track, and they manage to do that successfully. As Macover tries to take advantage of the switchback here, he has to gain a better exit, but he cannot do that quite well, so they have to stay behind for the moment. At the top, we have Shadow, who's about to gain the place as Macover touches as the place and spins him round as well. Almost spins him. He lost traction due to the touch they gave them. Now they have to defend from Migomi, who's catching up at quite a high speed there, with EIS enabled as well. Not DIS, EIS. Using EIS to gain a place. They have to stay back though, not to make contact with the Aston Martin. All of a sudden, everything escalated so quickly. But this player now trying to burning all his last bits of EIS to try and pull away from the Alpine. They have to make to catch up again as Shadow now spins and cozies a safety car. Oh well, I can assure you that this is gonna be mayhem now. Seeing what happened at the first safety car. That is gonna bring lots of drivers into the pits now, just like Keys is doing. He's getting lapped as well. He's almost getting lapped. I hope likely he won't because there's a safety car. Jack though gets past them. Now we're gonna see how this leaderboard is getting shaped as Bram is coming to the pits. Wickers gets right through penalty for speeding under the Delta time, under the safety car. Annie Red also pits. Callum goes into the pits. Jimbo goes into the pits. Pretty much everyone is going into the pits, I think. Matt Copper into the pits. SC Plays into the pits as well. Migomi follows him. Shadow follows him. Spark stays out for the moment. I would say they're playing the pit as late as possible strategy, which is not that bad, but you'll be outnumbered by all those drivers who are pitting. High also pits. The AI, Chaz misses AI pits. Wickers pits. Toastman stays out because he's on 6 lap on wet, but they're not gonna be really. They're not gonna have that much of advantage though. High caliber pits. Jack stayed out. I don't know if he'll pit now. He's already pit. And Broken stayed out. Spark still didn't pit. He's gonna have quite a hard time fighting the rest of the drivers behind him. Yeah, Jack stays out as expected because he did before. So how does the grid changes after those pit stops? Bram still leads after the pit stop as well. Sparks in second with 18 lap old wets. Anirad in third. Callum in fourth. Jimbo in fifth. Matt Copper in sixth. Toastman in seventh. Big Homie in 8th, Broken in 9th, Essie Blaze in 10th, Shadow in 11th, Ian Aston Martin's Vantage, though high disconnected in 12th. So, yeah. Weak is in 13th, Jazz Mister also disconnected in 14th, Jack in 15th, High Caliber in 16th, and Keys in 17th. Out of those 17, 3 people retired. That's Jack, Hostler, and Robbie Jacob. Sparks now goes into the pits, which is gonna give him a massive disadvantage. They're gonna serve their penalty as well, I believe. Yes, they had a penalty to serve apparently. They're gonna leave the pit lane in P14. And the safety car is gonna go in a lap 21. Hopefully. Jack also comes to the pits again now. So he's decided to pit for a used set of wets. That's not ideal for him. That's really not ideal for him. I guess it's the only thing he could have done though. Still not that used as his 11 lap old wets were. Do people normally, that's what Fisher Fingers is asking, do people normally drive with traction control like in dry or just wet? Well, as for me, I drive in with no traction control in whatever condition. For these drivers, I think, I actually don't know if they're driving with traction control off. We cannot really tell. Because some drivers did spin, so and traction control on should avoid this. So I know. I think some drivers do because it's not that hard though to control your car in the wet conditions. I mean, it's coming from me, who's on controller without traction control. It's not that hard if you have the right setup, some good downforce. But yeah, that's all I can say. Watch as Mr. is getting past the Alpine of Sparks. And we're going back to racing probably this lap. As Jack is about to catch up once again. So yeah, probably this lap it will be. I hope, unless Jack takes his time to catch up like Big Homie. He's joking. But yeah, I think so. Sparks trying to get past Jazz Mister there, but can't really do that right now. Yeah, it's gonna be this lap, I assume. Yeah, it is. Safety car in this lap then. As we go back to racing, this is gonna be hopefully the last safety car. I don't know if there will be any more. Weakest and high there, what is going on? Having quite a misunderstanding there. He's also with high caliber, but at the front of the grid, which is the Falcons right now. Ram now restarts this race. Jimbo takes the place on Callum all of a sudden, and he has to let him pass though. Let him back. Because side by side, Jimbo doesn't want to lose that place so easily. As at the back, we also have some more overtakes. But the focus is still between those two. Jimbo really being almost an obstacle there. 3 wide almost at the next corner. As, look at that. Jimbo not wanting to lose any more places. He's still trying to hold on with the Alpino Big Homie there. They're side by side. So Jimbo went basically from second to sixth right now, as Big Homie went a bit wider, letting Procan pass. And also the Aston Martin there wants to get past the Alpine. Look at the chaos right now unfolding into this second sector, as the McLaren is sending one right now, as well as SD Place. SD Place is going on the outside right now. The outside line, Shadow watching as well from behind, as it's side by side through the next corner. Looks like Big Homie has a better exit, so he keeps the place. Shadow taking advantage though, as Wickers also spins. Wickers spins. Bram sets the new fastest lap 119.675. As it plays, gets passed by Shadow. I think he will try and pull out another move. He does on the inside. That is quite a ambitious move that was from that distance in the wet. And he gets a better exit. Can they hold on for as long as they can? There's no DRS as well, so they wouldn't be even normally, because it's still doesn't got past 3 laps. But they try and send out another move. Jack gets past the IR transmitter, and as he plays, he's past Shadow once again. Shadow is going at it again on the inside this time. Look at them, how they're fighting that hard. And they make contact. Wickers gets 3 seconds to track limit. Sparks is going at Keys right now. Look at what is going on in the second sector once again. Keys side by side with Sparks right now. Shadow then has to stay back, by the way, as they're making some contact. They're letting Shadow's teammate Jack catch up. And that's not El Tiger Jack, that's Jack 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Keys has to stay behind Sparks, and Sparks gains a place then 119.589 from Bram, who sets a new fastest lap. Toastman getting passed by Matt Copper there. As High Caliber also does so, actually High does so when High Caliber now. High Caliber takes the place back. As Keys, Sparks now having a moment there. Keys trying to get the place on the Alpine driver, as Wickers spits. High Caliber spins. Actually, what is happening here? Oh, it's 2 AIs. No, I forgot a Shadow. Shadow spins once again and retires completely. Now, on track though, so no safety car. But that was not really. That was not a really good race from Shadow's point of view. That promotes Keys to P10, then having to hold on from Sparks. Jimbo is pretty close to Toastman right now. Toastman not having the best time right now. On 11 lap old wet, they're basically getting passed by any other driver, and they won't have that much of time to hold on, because it's still a long time to go before this race ends. So they have to find a way to defend hard. Jimbo is moving to the inside, he's looking at it, but stays behind for now. Stipley is also catching up on Big Homie, but right now the one who could possibly give a move to the AlphaTauri is Jimbo, but it doesn't look likely right now. He's not using any EIS, so nor is Steve Place, who's not got the same amount as Jimbo, but yeah. Jimbo is trying to get a move down as soon as possible on Toastman. He knows he's losing time right now. Unless, yeah, Toastman is catching up still, because the wets are still alive, but when they will die, it will be a bit harder to still stay in the range of the top 4. As they're trying to get the place on Toastman, they're burning some EIS they got there. And looks like he's not doing anything at the moment. Still they're closer when they catch up at turn 1, but then they get pulled away. Big Homie gets 3 seconds for track limits. Meanwhile, as they're defending from ST Plays as hard as they can, Jimbo decides to stay behind for now. ST Plays decides the same. Jimbo now, speaking of him, as soon as I take the camera off him, it takes 3 seconds then for track limits as well. So they're gonna be good when it comes to calculating results, I guess. That's gonna put some drivers off the points for sure. Matt Copper also get caught up now on Callum. Matt Copper caught up on Callum. They could get a P3 here if they make no mistakes. They have a penalty. All they have to do though is to get 3 seconds. Get ahead. Get out 3 seconds ahead of Callum. Jack also spun. Meanwhile, look at him struggling with those 30 lap old wets to keep the current track. Jimbo, meanwhile, really close to Toastman right now. So is ST Plays on Big Homie, who's going side by side actually with the with the Alpine, and so is Jimbo with the AlphaTauri now. They're going for it at turn 4. They're making also some contact. Jack spins once again, and Jimbo is passed. So is ST Plays on Big Homie. 2 moves are in 1 lap by 2 different drivers. Will those men try and fight back, or will Jimbo try and let his teammate catch up? Because doing that will allow this little train behind to catch up as well, which won't be that bad for the drivers involved in it, but it will be bad for Toastman, who will have to hold on from 4 drivers and soon to be 5, with Sparks catching up as well. Bram, meanwhile, improves his fastest lap time, 119.583, set by the Williams driver. Matt Copper now even closer to Callum than he was before. And so is Keys on Big Homie, after Big Homie got passed by the Aston Martin driver. Matt Copper looks to be not to be that close to Callum, and Toastman is also losing time on Jimbo now. And Jimbo is managing to pull away from the AlphaTauri. Procan is catching up, meanwhile, slowly, but he is. So right now the question is, will Toastman be able to hold on and stay in the top 10? Probably yes, because the 2 drivers in the top 10 have got penalties. Who knows? They still have 28 or 36, anything can happen. It's basically 9 laps to go right now. Weekers gets an additional 3 seconds of time penalty for track limits. It's Matt Copper now. Closer, looks to be gaining more as well on the Alfa Romeo. He's trying to pull out a move on Big Homie here on the inside. They managed to do that successfully. Matt Copper looks to be a bit far away now from Callum, but Keys there managed to pull out the move. And Big Homie cannot fight back at the moment. Broken looks a bit there on Toastman. He's trying to push as hard as he can. Meanwhile, Bram increases the gap on Annie Red, 4 seconds, because they're kind of mates. So yeah, Callum also trying to catch up, but he also has to defend from the Haas behind, who's trying his best to stay as close as possible to him to get the place when the 2 straights come up. Will they do that successfully? As they get through the 2 straight once again. They're gaining again now. He's also gaining on the academy mate. The focus is between 2 different academies. As Mac Copper will get a bit, let's say, a good exit. Yes, as he gains now, he has no more YS left. So that probably, if he can hold on, Callum is doing a massive job right now to hold on as hard as he can to keep that P3. But can they make it last until lap 36? We'll see. Jack meanwhile gets 3 seconds of track limits. Not good for them. Zesty Plays also caught up on Procan meanwhile. And that's why they're finding it harder to gain time on Toastman, because they got 70 lap old wets to manage. As Zesty Plays though, going for the move on the inside, this lets Skis get past him. Jack gets another additional 3 seconds of track limits. He's getting past, then Zesty Plays and will now try to hold the McLaren down. So this will have to manage to hold Big Homie behind for as long as he can. Matt Copper meanwhile still close to Callum, but he cannot seem to make the move on him. And Callum right now is spraying that he can hold on for as long as possible. Most likely, because that P3, if he manages to get that, he's gonna be a massive achievement, I guess, if you wanna call it that. Jack, another 3 seconds. That's 9 seconds now for track limits. What is going on with Jack? I was checking the Twitch chat, so that's why I went a bit silent. Excalibur spins once again in this race. Brings no safety car, which is good, but there could be a safety car at some point during this race, during the last few laps. That will be chaos, I think. That's get him dropped to P14. Not a really good comeback from High Caliber, but who knows? There could be one at some coming really soon. Anything can still happen, as I always say. Never give up. Keys looks to be close to Broken as they look for a place where to send the move, and they're doing it right now on the outside. Broken almost closing the door there. They make contact. High Caliber gets 3 seconds of track limits. They make contact once again. Keys and Broken. He's trying to send one at the inside, but they have to stay behind. Broken defending really well here, as they know Keys has a time penalty, but they're faster than them, despite having 21 lap old wets. That let Rusty Plays catch up once again. Graham improves his fastest lap time, 1:19.191 from the Williams driver, followed by Anired. As we get back to the fight, where the fight was taking place, that's Keys against Broken. Jack 1-2-3 now gains an additional 3 seconds time penalty, bringing the amount to 12. Keys looks like Broken has got some more Yaz to use, and he stays ahead for the time being. Macop is still behind the Haas, the Alfa Romeo, as Keys and Broken make contact, almost spinning both of them out of this race. As there's a yellow flag there from Jack, being deployed from Jack. He's about to get lapped by Bram. Keys and Broken now side by side. Broken meanwhile having a fight with the old academy he was in. As SD Plays is also trying to get involved in this fight. Jimbo managed to catch up to Matt Copper as he's trying to fight with Callum. Toastman meanwhile is thanking Keys and SD Plays for giving Broken this fight because he's 3 seconds. He's 3 seconds ahead of this group. Broken is trying to hold on as long as he can. Matt Copper though looks to be even closer now. Will he send it? No, he won't. For the moment, SD Play now gets 3 seconds of track limits. And he's really close to his academy mate. Yes, he's gonna send one around the inside. Will Keys let him pass? Yes, it kinda looks like that, but Keys is getting past him once again. It looks like he doesn't want to give him the place. As they make contact as well, that is not good for them as they're trying to fight as hard as they can. Jack spins once again, and they got officially lapped. Another good day for Rebel Academy, I would say, even though we have one car in the points for Rebel, so not bad for them in Tier 1, but not the performance they would have expected, I would say. Even though it's still wet conditions, but, you know. Well, Jimbo bit far behind Matt Copper now. It's Matt Copper now close to Cullen. He can make a move. He has to make one on last lap if he wants this P3. He knows there's a penalty. But who knows? Anything can happen, as I always say. He's trying his hardest, as you can tell, to get that move. Get that P3. As the last lap is about to begin. Last lap of an amazing race we've had so far. Place I saw they lost some time on Broken there. All of a sudden. So I want to check if they spawn or anything. Last lap, by the way, has begun. It's gonna be a matter of whether Matt Copper and anyone else can make the place on the driver ahead. And we're gonna see. Matt Copper trying to take all the slipstream he can. Still kind of take the Alfa Romeo. They have to stay behind for the moment. They almost go a bit wide there. Callum with the pressure on right now. Look at how close they are, but none of them. Callum is doing a good job at defending. None of them right now can make a move as Jack pulls away as he's lapped. Sparks 3 seconds for track limits. Now the time penalty is going to give quite a result for us. Let's see. Jimbo will probably get promoted here to P4. No, actually he won't. Never mind. My bad. But anyway, Bram crosses the line to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Anyway, in second, Callum, after an amazing defense, takes P3, followed by Matt Copper in P4, Jimbo in P5, Toastman in P6. Procan then manages to hold on and take P7, SD Plays P8, Keys P9, Brighomey P10, Sparks P11. Chaz Mister P12, But due to penalties, High gets P12 and just Mr. P13. High Caliber will cross the line to get P14 and Weakest P15. That is your race, your Brazilian Grand Prix done. As High gets driver of the lane, he didn't even race. We got driver of the day. Now we're gonna see the podium soon, and then podium celebration soon, and then the final results. Congrats to Bram, Annie Red, and Calden for taking the top 3 places for today's Grand Prix. Bram managing to get pole position, a sprint race win, and a race win, all in a row this week. So then, the results show us Bram got, actually I'm gonna take the race results. And the sprint ones. So we have Bram, Anyred, Callum, Jimbo, Mac Hopper, Toastman, Keys, Proken, Essie Place, Wickers, Jack, Big Homie, Sparks, High, Chessmister, High Caliber, Shadow, Jack, Hostfiller, and Roby Jacobs. That is basically your overall results for this final, this first race this weekend. We're gonna have tier 3 at 6 PM GMT tomorrow, tier 2 at 8 PM GMT for the last, I guess, 2 races of the weekend. Then we're gonna move on to let me check, to Canada, the Canadian Grand Prix. No sprint, because the sprints we're gonna have actually gonna be at Silverstone and Imola. So yeah, basically in 2 weeks we're gonna have another sprint at Silverstone, and then we're gonna have it at Imola 2 weeks after the season break. 2 weeks after the end of the season break in Austria, for reference. So yeah, I guess that is it for tier 1. We're gonna have tier 2, tier 3 first, and then tier 2 tomorrow. So make sure to tune in the stream. We're hopefully gonna have overlays tomorrow. So I guess bye for now.